What's up, She Sells girlies? On this episode, I interviewed the amazing Eawyn. She is a She Sells graduate. She's been traveling around the world working as a remote closer. She is only 21 years of age and she has got some incredible advice for everyone. Whether you're young, old, in the middle, whether you're in She Sells, not in Shells, it's an incredible episode. I know you're going to love it. We have a very, very, very special guest in house. A She Sells graduate, I will say. Came in, did the program, came to the sessions, learned her shit. Now she's working as a remote closer and traveling the world.
That's it.
Sounds pretty easy, right?
Sounds pretty easy, yeah. When you put it like that.
So this is the beautiful Eawyn. I'm very, very honored to be speaking to her today. And she's going to share her real life experience, her story, what mindset she's had to have to succeed as a remote closer. And then just letting everybody know a little bit around your experience as being an entrepreneur, because that's what you are when you become a remote closer. You have to start thinking as an entrepreneur. So welcome.
Thanks, Brooke. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, where have you been this year? What have you been doing?
So this year, so the plan was I was going to meet my mum and dad in Paris for my 21st birthday. Hadn't seen them for about 3 years. So
okay, wait, hang on. You're 21?
I'm 21.
And you hadn't seen your mum and dad for 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back to that because I want to know about your mum and dad.
And so, the plan was just go to Paris, see them for 2 weeks, and then come back to Australia. And I knew when booking that trip a few months prior, I was like, there's no way I'm going to want to come back to Australia, go back to my normal job. And at the time of booking it was probably in March.
Okay.
I was like, I have no idea how this is going to happen.
Yeah.
No idea. But time happened, and then I came across you in July.
Okay.
And I remember listening to the podcast. It was Adam, Unemployable, and my parents, they've worked with him before, so you know, trusted him, knew it was valuable. And I remember I was on the treadmill at the gym listening to it. I'm like, fuck, this is the way to go. I can do that. Made sense. And it just got me super, super, super excited. And then, within 24 hours, I think I was in the community.
There you go, guys. She came, she saw, she conquered.
That's it.
Okay, so then you came in. Did we speak initially?
I don't
Who do you remember?
so. I spoke to a guy. I think it might have been Andrew.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, no. We did have a meeting booked, but it was after. It was probably 2 weeks and I was into the program already.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, I want to come back to your parents first of all. So you hadn't seen them for 3 years. What do they do?
So COVID happened. So, living on the Gold Coast, living at home, and then COVID happened. Mum lost her job. And so my dad, he's always been a freelancer. He's worked for himself.
Okay.
And so when that happened, Mum and Dad, they were basically you know what, let's actually focus and make this a business. So it's a marketing agency. Dad's a graphic designer, and then Mum does the admin and the client communications and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
And then they were kind of fuck it, let's just sell the house, go to Bali. There's nothing keeping us here, really. So they kicked me and my brother out. Fuck, gotta make it work now.
You're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own. Which even just doing that, that was an amazing experience. It was challenging and tough, but, you learn through those experiences.
You absolutely do. It's, often we talk about this all the time, wanting your life to be easy, but it's no, it's in the hard moments that you learn and you grow.
Exactly.
And that is something that you can thank your parents for, because
100%.
Literally you having to fend for yourself and, start to experience the big wide world. It's you got to make shit work. You got to make shit happen.
Exactly.
So that's a gift that they gave you.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so incredible to hear their story and the fact that they're showing you, they are literally paving the path to show you a life outside of the 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah. They've put that vision in my mind, and it's I can't just ignore that. I know what's possible. They're striving for it. I can strive for it too.
Yeah.
So, they left, and I moved to Brisbane and I got into like a personal assistant for an accountant.
Okay.
And then I also got into real estate, which I thought was kind of like going to be my, my job. That's my career.
Yeah.
And for the first few months, I loved it because it was new, it was a challenge. But then, after a few months, you just kind of, it's the same thing, day in, day out. And I just was not enjoying it. I felt so stuck and just like a rat race. It wasn't fun. And there was no purpose,
That's so crazy, girl. Like, I was sitting on the couch last night just having one of those moments where I was like, far out, I'm so grateful for this life. Like, we're talking about December and how it's the best month because like everyone just feels like they're on holidays and you and I was like, that's every month for me. I literally go to bed, be excited to wake up. It's and if I don't feel like working, I just don't. I don't know if people understand the type of freedom that brings. Like we stayed up till 11:30 watching this great movie. It was really good. And we're all really into it. And we're like, oh, well, like we're entrepreneurs. Like tomorrow we can start a bit later if we want to. Like
it can.
Exactly. It's
amazing.
Okay. So take us to, and then you went to Europe.
Yes.
And you were in She Sells, and then what? Like what happened next?
And so, before I left to go to Europe, I wasn't actually placed yet. I was just in the community learning all that fun jazz. And then it was like 2 weeks to go. And then I was like, no, I've got trust. It's going to happen. I handed in my resignation.
Hang on a sec. You handed in your resignation before you had been placed?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I know.
What a leap of faith. I love that.
I know. And, that's exactly that. I was like sink or swim situation. Like I can either make it work or, worst comes to worst, I'll just come to Australia. But I want to make this work. I get to make this work and I can make it work. Like it's going to work.
I love that language. I get to make it work. And what happened when you adopted that kind of mindset?
Everything kind of just becomes exciting, It's the barriers are out of the way. It's like I get to make it work. Like, it just becomes exciting.
Yeah, I get to have these conversations. I get to change this person's life. It just puts you in a really different headspace and how you approach life in general.
Yeah. Yeah, in all aspects.
Yeah, it's not like I have to drive. Like perspective is everything, right? Yeah. Like in that, like look at the difference here. Like I have to go to work today. Like I just like feeling so tired. Or like I get to go to work today because I'm moving towards my purpose. I get to show up and have conversations with amazing people. Like immediately, even in my body language shift just then, like down like this versus like up like this. It's crazy. Yeah. Like your view of the world when you just change your language.
Switches.
Okay, so you were like you handed in your resignation, you were about to leave, you hadn't been placed, you had trust, like what then what? You're giving me anxiety. I'm like
and then so I got placed.
Woo!
Awesome. And then first month, shocking.
All been there, girl.
Yeah. So I was doing outbound and I just couldn't make a sale. Like, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Like, really second guessing everything, really. But then, just focusing on that mindset, it's like, I'm only going to fail if I give up. Like, I just have to keep trying and then I will eventually get there. It's going to happen. And then, I made like one sale before I left Australia. Yeah. And that was the best feeling ever. Like I was living with my grandma at the moment before I left. And I'm like, Grandma, I made a sale. Woo, look at me. God bless. I know. And so then, we went overseas, or I went overseas and did Paris for like 2 weeks. I wasn't really working then. But then we got to the south of France. At this time of year, that place is pretty boring. There's not much going on.
Okay. I mean, I've never heard someone refer to the south of France being like, boring.
It was, because it's like winter time over there and there's like everything's shut. It's cold. There's not much to do, which I envisioned. Like I knew that was going to happen because I'm like, I just want to focus on sales. Like this is the goal. This is the plan. I don't have to worry about going to a 9 to 5 to, make ends meet. I've got all this time and I can really use that. So then, yeah, I had to wake up at like 3 a.m. every day to start because of the time difference.
Okay,
you know,
of course, yeah. So just for context, Eawyn, you were selling on an Australian account, and you're still on this account, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, with the beautiful Jamie. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful Jamie. Yeah, so I had to wake up at like 3 a.m. every day till about 12, and at the start I was on outbound, and when you're on outbound you're just getting like rejection after rejection after rejection. So you have to focus on just like pushing through. Like their no isn't a reflection on who you are as a person, and if you just remember that, you just have to keep going. And then eventually started to get a bit better. And then he put me on inbound, which completely changed the game.
Yeah, you got the call up.
Yeah. Like, damn, everyone's answering me. Yeah.
And so the transition from outbound to inbound, what was that like? Like, aside from like everyone answering you, like what happened to your finances, your bank account? Like,
just even more confidence. I'm like, they're already more willing to say yes in ways, and it kind of just builds on your confidence, and you're kind of like, oh, I am doing something right. I'm not completely just winging it.
Yeah.
And then, more sales, and bank account is definitely growing. You know, there's still obviously room for improvement, but that's the exciting part.
Yes. Yes. And you said to me, which I don't want to say, I want you to say it, like was it tripled? How much?
So first month it was like $700.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was more than my first month. 440. You won.
And then, so that was purely just on outbound. And then second month, inbound, tripled it, which was like 2,300.
And working how many hours?
Like 3 hours every morning, really.
3 hours every morning?
3 hours every morning.
Okay.
And yeah, even just like that statistic, I'm like, wow, I'm already growing. There's already progress there.
Exactly.
It's so exciting. It's almost addictive.
Yes, it is. And what I love most about you, Eawyn, is like, you look at that, and rather than going, I only made $2,000, you're like, I tripled what I made in the last month, and I did it by only working 3 hours every single morning. It's like, you can see the potential. And the only way you fail in remote sales is when you give up.
Exactly.
It's when you throw in the towel because you're like, oh, this is hard. I can't do it. Can't do it with the no's, not earning enough. It's like, no, it's the people who have the perseverance, the A-player mentality that actually receive everything that remote sales can offer.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that is the awesome thing about it, is like, it's up to you. Like, it's not your path, and your success and your progress is not defined by anybody else, which is what I found was the most frustrating thing about a 9 to 5. Is like, I can do all this extra work, I can go above and beyond, but there's no extra reward, or I'm still in the same place, and like, it's just draining. But with this, it's the complete opposite.
The better you are, the more money you make.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is so incredible. And I will just say, like, when you were in She Sells, I didn't hear a peep from you.
Yeah.
Like, I seriously didn't. You just got in, you did the work, you showed up, you got placed, and now you're working as a remote closer and you're traveling the world. Like, you are a success story, and this is just the beginning for you.
Exactly.
It is literally, what just happened? Like, please tell everyone. I literally go upstairs for 5 minutes to just change my outfit because I was still in like my gym stuff. And I'm like, come back down. I can hear some squealing from the office. And I'm like,
what's going on?
I was like, okay, has someone made a sale? Like, what is going on? So please share.
So Tash, the lovely Tash, she walks in. I just met her too. She's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm like, nice to meet you. She's like, are you moving to Bali? I'm like, yeah, I want to. She's like, I've just got the place down the road. I'm looking for a roommate. I'm like, done. Sign me up. So I got a roomie.
Guys, like, honestly, that shit just happens for people who just start moving in the direction where they want to go. Like you got an opportunity, you were like, well, I'm not even going to think about it because yes, I would love to do that. I want to do it. So there it is. There's the opportunity. You take it or you leave it.
Makes sense. So yeah, jump in.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah. Wow. So we're going to be neighbors.
We're going to be neighbors.
So Tash just like bought the villa two down from here. So we're going to have like a full she sells like
community in real life.
In Bali. It's so exciting.
So exciting. Yeah.
So I'm honestly in awe of your story because you just got shit done. You know, there's something so inspiring about that. And I really want you to talk into what it takes to be an A player.
Okay.
Because you are definitely an A player. I mean, you literally came, you did the work, you got placed, you handed in your resignation, no fear, no nothing. Maybe there was fear, but it doesn't matter. You stepped into someone who you didn't even know who she was yet, but you were able to so fiercely step into that identity and make decisions as she would.
Yeah.
That is so admirable. You're 21. I mean, aside from having incredible parents who sort of paved that way, you still have this type of mindset, this A-player mentality. I really want you to talk into that because there's lots of women in the community who could really benefit from hearing how you were able to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it comes down, like, I definitely felt fear or like maybe this isn't the right thing or am I even good enough? Can I even do this? But, you know, it's just internal noise. Like there's no actual evidence or facts that prove that what I'm thinking is actually true. And I think when you take action and you step outside of your comfort zone, you build up evidence to support that I can change, I can build a life that I want to build. And all that negative self-talk, it's not me, really. It's just part of the process. Like you're going to hear that, you know? And becoming someone who's completely different to who you are, that's going to cost you who you are today. And that's going to be really uncomfortable, but it's a part of the process. You have to lean into it.
You do. You have to lean into the discomfort, the contraction.
Yeah.
I just can't believe you're 21. It took me a very long time to think like that. And you're so right. There is a part of you that you need to lovingly let go.
Absolutely.
In order to step into the next 2.0 version of yourself who has the things that you want.
Exactly.
And so the fact that you were able to do that in such a short time frame. So let's actually get some numbers here. So you came in in June? July to She Sells. Okay.
July.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then how long before you handed in your resignation?
So that was so I was leaving in September. I handed it in, what's the month before? August?
So June.
So signed up July.
That's July, okay.
July.
Yep.
Handed in my resignation in August, left the country in September, and now I'm here.
So you got placed in less than 3 months.
And I did not feel ready for that whatsoever, but it excited me, like that challenge. I'm like, I could listen to all of the core recordings and all the classes, but for me, I have to get in the deep end.
Totally.
And I have to fail and make those mistakes.
Yeah.
So
many women, Eawyn, are in the community right now who have been with me since July and are still too fearful to take that step. And I mean, I'd love to call them out, but I'm not. I just want them to listen to this and be like, holy shit, it's me. I'm the one holding myself back. Because you can do so many trainings. Like you can literally we've got 14 sessions that we run every single week. You can come to every single one, but until you're out there doing the thing, you're not going to grow into the remote closer version of you. And so I just admire that about you because I'm also one of those people. I actually don't like being in like watching videos and I need to go in, fake it till you make it kind of like just do it, fail a bunch of times. And then like the growth that I have from that, it really like helps me
It's really just welcoming those failures. Like they bring so much good if you use it to your ability.
Yeah, failing on purpose. Yeah, you want to fail for sure. There's never a perfect time to just take the leap and start.
No.
And the fact that you handed in, I mean, I know you were traveling, but you knew so wholeheartedly that you didn't want to be in Australia and that in order for the opportunities to just appear, you had to be willing to cut ties.
Action. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. Your story is amazing. You're going to be moving to Bali, which is also amazing. So you've given a lot of advice to people who are in She Sells, like, and in basically just being like, you've got to do it. What about advice to women who are really, and I ask this to everyone that comes on, because I think it's interesting to hear different people's perspectives. People who are on the fence, maybe they're looking for reasons not to do the program. They want to speak to a bunch of people before they come in. Like, what advice would you give to someone who is very much looking in at the moment? They're on the sidelines. Tell them.
Okay. I would say envision the person that, you know, you want to be, and like, how would that person live their life? You know, what actions would they take? What would they say yes to? And if there's, and if you're not aligned with that, then get aligned with that, really, and just be okay getting uncomfortable. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel like you're changing so much, because that's the journey that you're on. You know, you have to get uncomfortable. You have to feel like you're like the dumbest person in the room at some times to really see that change.
Yeah, you know what they say, if you are a big fish in a small pond, then change ponds.
Yes.
You want to be a small fish. Like, you want to grow and learn. And I think that's what tends to happen with people in a 9-to-5. They become the big fish in a small pond, and it feels good.
Comfortable.
It feels comfortable. Yeah, exactly right.
Nice.
It's secure. It's comfortable.
You've known around.
Exactly right. And the thought of putting yourself into a new pond and being the small fish again is scary. It is. But that's how you grow.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how you grow. Oh my goodness. So many amazing advice from a 21-year-old who has literally changed her life. So what's in your future? Like, let's talk about future now. End of 2025. Like, if I sat you on this, which I will, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit you on this exact same, maybe an upgraded, an upgraded version, but I'm going to sat you on this exact same spot, and I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to tell us right now, and I will hold you accountable to this, and you will hold yourself accountable. Absolutely. Where will you be?
Okay. Well, I'm going to be living down the road, for starters.
Yeah.
We're going to be neighbours. But I want to be making $30K a month and just living life on my own terms.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does that mean?
So that means I get to choose my calendar. You know, I get to choose when I want to work. I get to choose where and where I want to be. I get to have meaningful conversations with people. I get to serve people. I get to help them make decisions, you know, based on where they want to be, not on where they are. I get to have an impact on people's lives.
Huge. I mean, you're already doing a lot of that.
Even more so.
Yeah. On a bigger scale. Bigger scale. What does Eawyn making $30K a month, like, what changes for her? Are you traveling more? Are you buying villas? Like, what do you do? What's your long-term plan with that, making that kind of money?
Well, I definitely want to get into real estate, buy property here, Australia, get to just see parts of the world that I want to see because I get to.
And you can.
Yeah. You know, surrounding myself around people that are, you know, enabling that lifestyle.
You can't not rise to that. I always remember I was in the car on the way to my very first podcast and I had my mentor next to me. And I never realized how incredible, like, and how much it would change my life just being around someone like that for a day. So when you surround yourself with people who are doing what you want and are where you want to be, it's impossible not to rise to that level.
I mean, and that's exactly why I did leave Australia to be around my mum and dad, because they are living the life that I so very badly wanted.
Oh, they must be so proud of you. You must be proud of you.
I am, extremely. Even just in the short time frame of how things have changed and developed. And like, if you asked me a year ago that I'd be sitting here today, I'd be like, there's no way. What? How's that all going to happen?
Yeah, wow. That's the thing. We underestimate how much change can happen in just 12 months. I mean, in 1 month, in 2 months, like, you could be in a completely different place. Like, it was only January of this year that I was a remote closer myself. And so I've had that transition into business owner, and that's been a whole nother learning.
Different level.
Yes, exactly. So a lot can change in a small amount of time if you allow yourself to choose you and to get in alignment with where you want to be and the person who you don't even know yet. Just surrender to it.
Absolutely.
You know? Oh, it's been so amazing chatting to you, Eawyn. I feel like there's a lot of younger, even older, it doesn't matter, just people who are going to take away a lot from this. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. You guys are going to love it. Bye.
Bye.